Okay, Roman. Favor is going to be against you. So where to start? Need to regain it where I can. The Adventure Guild would not be a bad start. Be anywhere else. Certainly help. They're the...
Back.
Okay.
Hello.
Ah, I saw you run past.
I had mail, and I responded to the mail and had to send the response.
You know, some of this was through some partnership I believe I overheard, but the rest of this, do you make this all yourself? The food, the drink?
Yes, I do this stall and this stall. I makes.
Would you be willing to run me through, I suppose, some of the processes?
Is there like something in particular you wanna do?
Anything, I suppose, basic. I've been... The long and short, I wish to potentially one day host some event of my own. To meet people and the hospitality. But I prefer a level of self-sufficiency. And so I've been trying to pick up a bit of base level skill in... Well, I've met with Amelia, the baker. Gained some
like
lessons
Amelia.
from her.
Well, I assume you probably want meat-based dishes. But if you're doing it for other people, you probably want to at least learn like one veggie dish, since not everyone eats meat. But I can go through some basics with you. I assume you don't want just like a sandwich, because that's just slapping things together. You want something more,
Right.
or?
Just enough to give me, I suppose, the... I'm not sure the word. Control or the base level understanding to do it myself. I can learn from there. I adapt quick.
Well, if you come inside, I have my kitchen. Oh,
It's
man.
on your back.
It's sold out again. It's my backpack.
No, the...
Oh, I have wings. I get to fly. I don't know where my rockets are at this very moment, but when I have rockets, I get to zoomies in the sky.
You find
I bought
that?
I bought them from the end.
Ah.
I paid Viscount Apollo for them, and now I get to fly around.
I'd have to look into that.
You can hop the counter. I don't put food on it anyways. So depending on what you want to make, it depends on what type of stove and pots you need.
Right. There's some of this too. From
some of it's used in, like, you need to use your ovens for baking and such.
Right.
Well, if you want to look into this cabinet, is there anything in particular in there that I could use to, like, teach you the basics?
There's... That's where I've seen...
Oh, people like mashed potatoes.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I know I've seen it around before. And then... This doesn't look particularly bad either.
Oh, yes, is that the chicken?
Looks like it.
Oh, yes. To start off with the potatoes, that's actually a really simple one. So you have to, obviously you have to harvest the potatoes first, and then you can use, a smoker's best. It cooks the potatoes much quicker, which I'm sure I have potatoes in here somewhere. do. So you have to smoke the potatoes in the smoker, or you can use a furnace. It's more efficient this way if you're an efficiency type of person. I'm always busy, so I like going fast.
I imagine with the amount of questers coming through.
Questers, and then there's the guild is officially now opened in the Nether too, and so I have to jungle those quests as well. And then I took on a job, so
You've
I also had
kept
job
busy.
responsibilities. If you want to grab some of the baked potatoes from the smoker. So to make mashed potatoes, now that the potatoes are cooked, you just have to mash them, and you can mash them using the mincer, which I actually have over here. So if you just shove the potatoes down the top of it, make sure it's packed good and tight, and then you can, yep, and it mashes them for you.
You're right, that really was nothing.
It's really oh, whoopsies. Sometimes I get a little handsy. Yep, so that's how you make mashed potatoes. If you ever want to take it a step further, you can also make potato salad, because mashed potatoes is an ingredient with it. For potato salad, it is... Well, actually, I guess you don't use the mashed potatoes for potato salad, but use the potatoes. You use potatoes, you use the... use beetroot and tomatoes and lettuce, which all of it is stuff you can find by foraging. Or you can grow it yourself. Foraging's more fun, though. And... it's just, you chop up the potatoes, you put it into, you craft it on a table, and you put it all together, and it tastes really good. Yeah. Mashed potatoes are definitely, the easiest thing, I feel, for people who, for how much people like them, it's good how easy it is.
Certainly, I was not expecting it to be a two-step process.
For the stuffed chicken... it's gonna step up a bit from the mashed potatoes because it uses more ingredients, but you just have to have a stove. I have a deep slate stove, and you would want to put the raw chicken in, and then you want to stuff it with onions and carrots, but there's a lot of onions in the world. I say that, it's just because they grow differently. So you need the shiny onions, and you then put a carrot in with it. And so once you kind of stuff the onions and carrots into the chicken, you get the stuffed chicken. You just have to wait for it to cook and get all warm, because you don't want to serve people raw meat, because most people don't like raw meat. It's not healthy for a lot of people.
Everyone has their different eats, I suppose.
Standard things you're gonna want in a kitchen, just to make cooking life easier, is you'll want a brick stove, that way, and then a cooking pot. You're gonna want another type of stove. Mine case is a deep slate, but there's a couple other ones that have the same shelvings in there that you need. And there is a smaller cooking pot. So those are important ones to have. Sinks are also helpful, because a lot of stuff does need water. Like if you were to make strawberry tea, you'll need water and 2 strawberries to make strawberry tea. So
A lot of it's shared in common with the baking process.
I do have a bucket. Yeah, so strawberry tea is also really simple to make. And doesn't drink people like, I've heard from Amelia that people buy out her strawberry sweets a lot, so I think that's a good go-to. I know other people like apple stuff. I know me and Paige both really like apples, I've discovered. Let's see. Alright, veggies. The easiest veggie type thing to make is probably a salad, because that doesn't require cooking. You take the ingredients that people like to eat in salads, and you put them in a bowl together.
People eat that?
So it kind of varies on, really what type of salad they like eating. I normally make one with lettuce, tomato, and beetroot. But I'm not a big fan of a lot of lettuce. So I will, well, I guess it's cabbage. I'm not a big fan of cabbage. So I will take my cabbage and I fear I do not have a knife. I think I stole it from myself and put it somewhere else.
I had one Amelia gave, but I do not have it with me.
Oopsies.
Fancy and excitable.
Do you have a stick?
Not yet.
Oh, oh, no, I don't have a stick. Oh,
I can grab one quickly.
okay.
Oh. Touch the trees around. Mind-numbingly simple. I suppose it's just a matter of knowing what you need to put together. There. Here you are.
So you can use a knife to chop up the cabbage, the big ball of cabbage. You just need a cutting board so you don't damage your countertop. And you can use the knife just to chop it. And so then you have more lettuce to use in cooking, or I guess cabbage. It's all green. I don't really know the difference. But you can use. So you use the cabbage, and then you use. I think it's this tomato. It might not be that tomato. Where's my beetroot? Beetroot and bold. I think that's all you need for a salad. There's a crafting table to kind of put it all together in the back corner.
Oh, there.
So that's a really salad. Salad? That is a salad. That's a really easy veggie meal that you can make for people that don't eat meat. Another one that's pretty easy. And this is really,
it just seems like a mix of
stuff you find on the ground.
precisely. But I can't argue with the public opinion, I suppose.
Yeah. I don't know. I've been eating more variety of stuff than meat, just stuff. So, because Amelia doesn't really like making. Well, she does make meat for me. But she's never made meat before. So, I do like her sweets a little bit better. What's another thing? What type of, like, would you be hosting them for dinner? Are you just looking for casual snacks?
I'm considering a dinner, although I've always also, since my current living affair came up, I've been thinking of hosting some ball similar to the one that was in the Enderian kingdom. So, dinners in general. But I suppose party favors would not be turned down.
I like to make waffles.
I remember this, yes. Someone ate one off of the floor.
You know, I wasn't a big fan of floor food, but then I learned that while I prefer meat dishes when I have paws, floor dishes aren't that bad either. Oh. It was like giving me a tummy ache. But then again, I guess that makes sense because I've also eaten rotten flesh when I have paws. So if eating food off the floor gave me a tummy ache when I had paws, I think my body would need to get its priorities straight. Do you eat rotten flesh?
I haven't in a long while, no. There was a period in some colder regions where me and my father, but regardless.
I only eat if I had no other options. Like I went out adventuring and because we were traveling at Lady Arena, I was in pause a lot so she could see at night, and I ran out of my snacks. And so then Captain Arlo slayed zombies for me so I would have meat. Well, if you're hosting, like, you want to do an event at some point, I know a lot of people really like doing alcohol.
I was
So I
going
could
to bring
also-
that up next, yes.
I can show you how to make beer. Actually, I have a book upstairs. Give me 1 second.
Of course. I will also briefly be right back. Suppose I can grant her the same gift that I granted Amelia. Running over the coals seems to be certainly a common resource, if common between the baker and the cook, then certainly useful. However, shouldn't see to giving up all too much. I don't want to cross back on my word. I've told the Enderian nobles that I am not particularly well off. So it may be wise to keep that image.
Oh, welcome back.
Hello. I gave Amelia the same gift towards the end of our lesson with the baking, since I saw that she was going through quite a lot of coal. I don't know how your stores are, but hopefully that should keep things moving for a considerable while.
Cooking-wise, I don't use too much. Beer-making-wise, I go through a couple stacks per brewing session. Let me go down. So, I had only learned to start making beer a couple months ago. I got a letter from one of my packmates. I think it took a long time to get to me because it was kind of dated old. But the materials you need to make beer is you'll need to have a brewing station, and you can make a wooden one. It's really easy to make. Oh, they're hot. And then most of the beer recipes, you need like something like dried wheat, dried barley. These are silos. And so you dry them by putting them inside here, and they'll dry over time. And the most important beer ingredient is the hops, because that's what makes it alcohol-y. So when you're learning to make beer, it's probably best to focus on making one beer station at a time. I get distracted easily, and so I like having all my beer stations going. Let's see, what is, oh, my shulker boxes are full. Okay, we can do... Do you have a beer preference?
I've only drank olive once. I believe more of that was wine, however.
Right,
I know there's a red beer that is quite popular with a few of the people I've ran into.
Haley beer has a red foam, though that does use chorus fruit, and you have to acquire that from the end. And I have a limited supply, so I don't want to use that one for the recipe. But we can do...
I imagine the same principles apply to all of them, no?
So I'll make
Shouldn't
you...
particularly matter.
We can do barley beer. So for barley beer, you'll need dried barley, you need yeast, and you need hops. You actually make yeast up in the kitchen on this, using the cooking pot that's on the stove, my deep slate stove. It's sugar, water, and then you can use any type of grain, so like corn, wheat, barley.
We needed to do that for one of the breads we made. So
Yeast makes things, I think, rise. I think that's why the beer's foamy. I gotta find a new water bucket. I left mine upstairs.
Here, I have one.
Well, actually, since you have it, you can enter it. So we'll use this brewing station right here because it's already lit up. So you go into the pot section, you put the water in, and then you add the hops, the yeast, and the dried barley. And then you normally have to put coal in to fuel it, but it's already heated up this time. And
Is
you kind
that
of
a
just have
good
to
thing?
watch it brew. It's gonna be extra toasty. Oh, good. Yes. So whenever that happens, it's getting like really high pressure, and so you want to release it so the pressure doesn't go kaboom.
What did I do? It made a noise,
You-
and so I hit it.
Yeah, that works. Oh, and then you have to put more water in. There's water over here. So it doesn't dry out. You don't want the goodies to get burnt. Oh, put more water back in.
This is probably due to it being left on, right?
Oh, no, it does it all the time. Yep, you hit the timer. Do it again. And if you're not careful when making beer, a beer man will come and get you.
You what?
A beer man will come and get you if you're not careful when making your beer. That's why I carry this on me.
Right.
And so then you use mugs to scoop the beer out of the bin.
Is this... No matter. That's all?
That's the gist of it. Do you want a list of the beer recipes?
No, I'll probably go about my own experimentation. It's just the hops, the yeast, and the dried grain, correct?
Well, the yeast is the dried grain. For the, so
Thought
it's
there
the
was
hops, the
a
yeast.
barley in this one.
Yep, so this one, yeah, so the yeast uses not dried stuff, but then so inside the thing, you'll do like dried wheat, dried oat, dried barley, but you can also make beer using like you do 2 hops instead of a dried something, or you use the chorus fruit instead of a dried something, or you use 2 of the dried things. There's a lot of beer you can make.
Interesting. Yeah, I should be able to experiment myself.
Yeah, you go through a lot of coal in making it, especially when you're running 4 things all at once. We didn't run into the issue this time, but sometimes the heat will run out and you have to restock the heat. You'll see it start running out because it starts getting like foam in the air and smoky. And so you'd have to throw more coal in to keep it going.
I see why you go so much, or go through so much.
It's definitely a little time consuming to make. So restocking it's annoying at times.
Wouldn't you just need to price it higher?
I don't think price really matters. I kind of think when people come to drink, it doesn't matter what price it is, they're gonna buy it. And so I don't want to really price it too high because then I would feel bad. We recently raised the XP wine price to 5 emeralds because people keep buying it out, and yeah, that didn't dissuade them from buying it out. It was restocked less than 24 hours ago, and it's bought out again.
I had one of those at some point.
Um,
Would you take
I don't
an
drink.
order in advance for it?
For what?
The experience wine, I believe that would be useful to me.
You would probably just have to come to the guild and buy it because I'm not the one that makes it. It's a contract I have with Gray's Winery is they exclusively sell it to me, to sell at the guild. Or I guess not sell it to me. They give it to me to sell at the guild and we split profits. So if I were to set up a direct deal with you, that would mean other people would possibly want a direct deal, and I don't want to go through all that.
Too many steps, yes. Well, if the process is time-consuming here, I would be willing to... I mean, if I'm only making this sort of thing for events. If I have spare time to throw any together, I can always drop it off here. I wouldn't particularly have the use for it in bulk.
As long as I'm not paying for it.
Sure.
If I have to pay for it, I'll just make my own.
I can't say I wouldn't mind any form of cut from the payment received, but I won't hold anything to that. I'm not... I don't shop all too much, so I don't particularly have the need for many emeralds.
That's fair, that's fair. I go through a lot of emeralds going through guild stuff, and so since a lot of my emeralds go towards paying adventurers, I'd rather not pay for stuff I can do myself. So that's why I just make the beer myself. Plus, I really wanted to make beer. I wanted to make beer before the war ended, and so I had reached out to Roxana. Roxana was from my pack, and she made beer. I reached out to Roxana, and she sent me a book that had all the recipes and all the equipment I needed and the step-by-step guide for me to make beer. And so that's how I learned. And whenever I asked to make the adventure guild to the high vessel, I asked if I could sell beer in it, and that was my requirement to doing it. I wanted to do both.
Well, you're living the dream, I suppose. Both of your requests fulfilled.
I found, since I didn't do anything to raise, since I was polite, I think she was more inclined to be polite back, and so that's been working out pretty well.
Really noted. I need to meet with her
Well,
soon, but I haven't
spoken to her recently. I've sent letters, and she signed my citizen documentation, but I haven't spoke to her, like, in person.
know I need to meet with her regarding two things mainly now, but matter of finding the right time when she is around, I suppose.
Yeah, I'm sure as a princess she gets really busy.
Precisely. There was a meeting I was supposed to have with her at some point, but I got pulled into a full court gathering instead, just because that's what she had around and available. I certainly don't envy the busy schedule she must have.
Yeah. I don't really know who her court is. I know Captain Arlo. Ophelia told me that I think she's the sorceress now. I know Lady's title's Lady Naomi's title's Lady Naomi, so I figure she might be on the court, or at least some type of, like, castle person. I don't know about anything else.
I'm terrible with names, but I'm going to have to learn them eventually.
That's fair. When you talk to Camilla, it kind of just comes naturally. At least that's how I found.
That's how things have worked for me. I usually need to learn someone's name at least 2 or 3 times before it becomes, I suppose, familiar with me. This is very valuable. Are these barrels for anything in particular?
No, I just thought they looked cool.
Right.
Don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I found that if you do have a multi-brew setup, I found having scaffolding or some type of block here is really handy. Because for
Able
one,
to see them all.
yeah, when you have hands, it's easier to see them all. And for two, when you have paws, it makes it a bit easier. Though I don't suggest making beer with paws. It hurts my eyes. Because you have to constantly be hopping to, like, see where everything's going.
Right.
So I try not to brew beer at night.
It has its drawbacks at times. Is there any other valuable information to know regarding brewing or cooking?
As I mentioned, the man might come out if you don't brew very well. So you have to be careful of that. I discovered that he doesn't really hurt. I was always a little scared of him, but then I actually fought him with Captain Arlo and Lady Arena, and it wasn't that bad. He kind of sucked, but he did throw beer at me and got my clothes dirty. But
And you're sure... I don't mean to call you a liar by any means, but you're sure this happened? This is a thing that... there's a beerman.
And then he like spunnied and he floated over here and he threw mugs of beer at me and Captain Arlo shrieking blasted him.
Right, I'm sure I'll learn it on my own time. Or get to see it with my own two eyes at some point.
I suggest making a note saying if you find this, the beerman got me. I had Lady Rowena and Captain Arlo make one, and then I gave one to Zach too whenever he came in to make beer. Good to have. Pause! As for cooking, I don't think there's any specific, like, overall arching thing with cooking. It's helpful to have a lot of ingredients. If we go back upstairs. There's a lot of utensils you can use to cook. So over in this left, like, the roaster, can be used to make this, like, really tasty rabbit thing. And that's what I use for the most part besides the stuff that's already on the stove. There's the kettle for tea making. I don't really know how to make tea though. And then the cooking cauldron is also needed for certain type of foods. I don't remember at the top of my head, but I've had to use it before.
Quite a lot here. I suppose it just accrues over time, yeah?
As you like are trying to make something and your utensil isn't just flipping it right, or it's not boiling to the right temperature, or you have to try other pots to kind of see. Because cooking is like a science type thing or something like that. And so it helps to test and test and test and see what works and what doesn't. Oh, there's also a mixing bowl that is used in a lot of recipes. You put the ingredients in it and you mix it.
I believe Amelia had one of these for baking as well, so... So I believe so. So, very insightful.
I think that's the main stuff I use, unless there's another specific dish you want to make.
Nothing
I
I would
have a
love.
recipe book I carry on me, but I haven't really kept it updated. Yes, there's two pages. I have tomato soup. It's 2 tomatoes and 1 bottle of wine of choice. You mash the tomatoes to a smooth consistency, combine all ingredients in a cooking pot over heat, stir occasionally while the ingredients meld to a good temp and mixture. And I like that tomato soup. It makes me not floaty, but if I jump off a roof, I glide down. And then there's squid ink pasta. It's fish, tomato, squid ink, and pasta. And pasta you can make by putting like a wheat dough into I actually sent it into the mincer like the mashed potatoes. You stuff it in there and it comes out as noodles.
So something like following, akin to how Amelia would make her breads and then just shred that.
Well, you don't want it to be bread yet. It'll be like a ball of dough that you can meld with your paws.
Right. The bread before it hits the stove.
So it's like wheat and water, or you can do wheat and egg. Or if you want to be fancy, you can do flour, yeast, and water in a mixing bowl. But that's a whole lot of steps for food that I think is going to taste the same either way.
Certainly. I think it's going to certainly be half the experience trying to cook these things in the first place, and the other half of it's going to be actually tasting them. I don't exactly have a frame
taste
of
test and
reference,
make sure it tastes good is a good step along the way. Because if you don't taste test, what if it tastes bad? And then you serve it to somebody and they think you're a bad cook? Or what if they think you cooked it really bad on purpose and are doing it to get a reaction out of them?
They wouldn't be wrong on the prior that I'm just going to be a bad cook. I don't.
But if you're hosting, you don't wanna. You want it to be good for your guests, likely.
Right. Some people, I suppose, would also just appreciate the gesture. But I understand, yes, I would want it to taste good.
Yeah, that is a rundown on cooking.
Appreciate it. Like I said, if I can get some batches of the beer going, I will, in bulk, then I will stop by and drop it off.
Okay, I'll have to taste them first and make sure after they're to the guild quality.
Of
And then if
course.
not, I'll probably give them back.
I
That
won't
isn't of
have any.
quality, I end up, like, that I make, I give away if it's not of quality when I make it.
Right. I won't particularly have any use for it, so anything that you would wish to do with it, then you may go ahead. But
Okay.
thank you very much. You have a good night.
You too.
What's that, Father? Another wolfkin. I think I started at such odds with her. Nonetheless, I believe the tension remains. I don't particularly have any fondness for her, but still very useful nonetheless. Information to have. So, should I be to bump into the high vessel or successfully organize a time to discuss with her? I will discuss dinner with any court of her choosing. And up to, I suppose, she would be able to invite 8. Who did Fiore name? Arlo was the one that came up. Rowena, you'd mentioned, I'm not sure who exactly that is. The lady, was that Lady Rowena? Potentially. Arlo, Lady Rowena, Ophelia. There was the other one, the other, I believe, Wolfkin. That would be 4. Gives them space at the table. I suppose we'll just have to see. Now, as for my other, I need to reshape the carpet in order to house something like it. I will need to be in contact with anyone that knows their ways around potions or general effects. I understand that the traps here did use some form of... No, where was it? The other side, right. The traps here had some form of instant damage potion. But I can lead Jura into such a situation. Put her somewhere that she's unlikely to escape from. And bombard her with these same harming potions, provided I can figure out how to make them. It should be a flawless execution for a traitorous purple blood. I design something I will need to look into. Wiring. Suppose I don't know her true strength, so I would also need to account for that. The more that I can attack with, the more senses that I can offend, throw her off her game. She can't fight back against it. She doesn't know what she's fighting. There is still much to do, but nonetheless, I should retire for now. There's never truly time to rest. Throughout the past week, I've followed a lead from Sundu regarding Netherite, via one Roinar and Fernith. And now, my order is ready. shall we?
Hi.
Good evening.
This it's gonna sound weird, but Sandu gave me some stuff I should read and give to you,
Hmm.
and then also do the trade, of course.
Okay.
I have to read this book aloud to you. Dear Atticus, I am writing this book to update you on things. First things first, I asked Roynar here to give you this mailbox and jewelry. I was going to give you the jewelry last time, but the last time. However, with everything, I thought it would be awkward to give to how sorry. Excuse my reading.
No
With
worries.
everything, I thought it would be awkward to come back just to throw jewelry at you. Also, I apologize for telling Roynar not to give you the netherite till after he read this book. I wanted to make sure you heard it. You can yell at me later about. Sorry. Anyways, I also am giving you a mailbox. Sorry, but I need to specify this. Inhales. You need a mailbox. Take please and thank you. Ahem. I would also like to apologize again for the trouble I brought you. It was never my intention. I wish I could tell you this in person. However, I feel as though my presence would only bring you more trouble at this current moment in time. Though I do hope we can talk once this has blown over. I hope the jewelry serves you well and keeps you safe. I am currently doing okay. The tension has diminished a little, at least for now, so I only pray for positive outcomes. Sincerely, Sandu. Roynar, keep reading this last part out loud. P.S. Roynar, whatever you have read out loud just now, mind your business. I know you would respect this privacy. However, if I hear you mention this anywhere, I'll make my mission to make Enya think you smell. Thank you for doing this favor.
Interesting.
So here's the mailbox and the jewelry.
Hmm. Appreciate you passing that along.
Of course.
As for the netherite, I believe you said it was 32 per. This should be
Yes,
enough
it
for
indeed was.
5, as well as an extra gratuity added on top. My adventure or exploration that I had mentioned turned out quite profitable, so I figured I should pass it along.
Are you sure you don't need to?
It's the least I can do. I mean, you've provided this, and should I need any more in the future, I would like to establish a good trade relation.
Of course.
I also kept you waiting, I suppose, so.
No, no worries. I took my time as well.
Very well. Should you need anything more from me, or from the overworld in general, I'm around.
Of course. You seem like a nice guy, so I will definitely not hesitate to reach out.
And you the same. Take care.
You too.
Sundu's passed along, huh? Certainly different from my previous. For the ah. If I'd be able to get another netherite ring, that would certainly help my odds in battle. Should any ever be to come up. As for these, should be able to apply them over my existing diamond mentioned. Hmm. Have him read it out. Interesting. Here I was, believing that I would have to extend the branch first. Regardless, I have upgrades to make. Otherwise, this netherite would go to waste. Very well. I don't have a template. I forgot to ask. But what would be the price on the templates? Templates needed for the using the netherite templates on diamond armor. Well, hopefully the extra tip makes him a little easier to sway on that matter. Damn. Here I was, caught up. What time to make jewelry? Putting a wellness check. I think she wishes to have all of this blow over. Perhaps my initial impression was wrong, but my reaction remains correct. I was foolish to trust her. I already have the resources. I've not been to this stronghold. I was curious as to how. The structure seems similar to my own. Still about abandoned, although vaguely lit. Traps seemingly still armed. They use this as a trade hub. That works. It's a guise of trust. About it, I can brew beer and make a half-decent meal. Things with Sundu could certainly be soothed over. We just set up that farm. I don't think it was understood what I had initially said.
Hi.
Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a bit. There you go, and a stack of netherrack. that should.
And I got the emeralds back. A pleasure doing business.
No, don't leave with the money.
Of course. Thank you again, my
Of course.
folly for forgetting.
All good.
Take care.